Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Wilson Hines and I am here, I guess. If you've been following along, I've got a few subscribers, just a few. If you've been following along, you know I've not posted a video in quite some time. The reason is simple: frustration with the way it looks, the way it sounds, all of it. Got rid of the lapel thing. Actually threw them in the trash. I was cleaning out. It's like, man, I'm chunking that thing. If I need a better one, I'll get a better one. So, what's going on? A lot has changed. A lot has changed in my system. I have gone from my Schiit Modius, my Schiit Freya, my Schiit Modius has been retired to a Bifrost 264. As you can see, I've gone from a Technics SLB2 to the MidFi Ultra Deck, and which is very nice. It's been a very welcome addition to the room. And Schiit Kara, it's just a bunch of shit, guys. It's a lot of shit. And as you can see, what happens is I can't really get it up, but maybe you can see it. I don't know. Can you? Shit happens, guys. There's no doubt about that. Shit happens. There's been a lot of changes in philosophy dealing with this. Dealing with the room, the layout, this cheap old thing here has gone through a lot of changes. Done a lot of changes in the room. And we're going to get into that little bit by little bit, episode after episode, about how things have changed. But to give you an idea, again, a lot of the shit has changed. A lot of the cabling, all the cabling has changed. And I will get into that. I would like to say why I've not put any videos out, and that may explain some things. I'm not nervous in front of a camera per se. I just don't like to look at me in front of a camera. And I probably need to put these things up there and not worry about the way I sound or the way I look. But I have been unable to do that. And there's some good and bad with that. So anyway, one of the biggest reasons I've not been able to put anything up, or not wanted to put anything up, is a little bit of pride. I've got two lovely grown girls, but they still live at home. One is 21 and in nursing school. The other is 19 and she is in cosmetology, hair, basically, hair school. And she's about to finish. The 21-year-old is approaching halfway through nursing school. And this is a big house. It's 4,000 square feet. I'm upstairs. This is the man cave, the den, whatever you're wanting to call it. It is what it is. And essentially, my voice, I'm loud and I know I'm loud. And if I'm talking, I know it's going down that stairwell. And I know they've got to be thinking, has he lost his mind? So, Daddy's talking into a phone. Although, look, they're watching YouTube, they're watching TikTok and everything like all the kids are. And they are well aware of what it takes to produce something. You got to get behind the camera. You got to talk into the camera. But my pride is, hey, I turned 50 in 8 days. I'm 49 right now for a few more days. And the pride part of it is I wonder if they think I've lost my mind. So, in fact, Anna, the oldest, she just hollered upstairs, Daddy, I love you. I'll catch you later. So she's gone. The house is quiet right now. Wife's at a nursing administration conference. And my youngest daughter, Emma, man, there ain't no telling where she's at. So 4,000 square foot to myself, I can talk. But I was setting all this up before Anna left. So I was going to do it whether or not she had decided to head out the door or not. But a lot of things have changed. I even swapped out the case for my PC. And that was something I did. It took me 30 minutes. It's not a big deal. But a lot of things have changed. There's no doubt about it. I changed out all of my cables. Basically, all I had before were some, what do they call them? Managi? Anyway, I better stop while I'm ahead. Cheap cables. I had cables that were $30 or maybe $25 or $30, something along those lines on Amazon. I had a couple other custom cables that were still very cheap, but they did find that I'll drag them out sometime and show you some comparisons and whatnot. But I got bit by the cable bug. I got to admit it. Now, if I told you what I have spent since November, early November on cables, you will have thought I have lost my mind. I've got everything spreadsheeted. I know what my system is worth at retail. In other words, if I were to go out and buy everything, say my clips, Forte 1s are a great example of this. Right now, I think they'll cost you about $4,600, maybe $4,900, somewhere in that ballpark. If you bought a brand new pair. Mine are not brand new. Mine are Forte 1s, and you can get them all day long for $700 to $1,200, depending on the deal you get, who you're buying from, the quality, condition, etc., etc. But I love them. I love them to death. I've had them right at a year. I think February of last year, I picked those up. They have been amazing speakers. Highly recommend them. They are as old as my wife. My wife was born in 82, and I think these things are, from the best I could tell from the guy I bought them from and everything, probably 82, 83, something like that. But they jam and they do a real good job. So I paid $800 for them. I didn't pay $4,900. So on that spreadsheet, and we'll get into that on the episode where I get into cables deeply. But on that episode, you'll see that, at a retail value, I've got X for my whole system. Everything, right down to the cables, everything. And then right beside that, I've got a column for this is what I paid for it. And they're two very different numbers. Everything I buy has been, almost, I would say 70% of what I bought has been at some sort of a deal, discount, open box, like return product basically, or just flat out used. And that's fine with me. Had some cables made up, had some power cables made up, and a friend of mine, Joshua George out of Charlotte, made those amazing cables. And there's a whole philosophy in those cables, a whole technique and everything. A little bit expensive, but not anything near as like AudioQuest or Cardis or anything like that. But still significant investment. And power condition, I got a Niagara 3000. I know what you're thinking. My God, that's $3,900. Thank God I didn't have to pay $3,900 for it. So in fact, it was such a good deal. I was looking at $1,200, which would have been about $1,000, and I was able to add a little bit to that and get a 3,000. So I did. So a lot of things have changed, big changes. The next video you're going to see is going to be vinyl philosophy. I've gotten so frustrated with vinyl records. Not with vinyl records themselves, or I probably should say vinyl records themselves, but not the concept of vinyl records. I love vinyl. I can show you several records that I have right now that sound so much better on vinyl than they do digital. But just yesterday, and I'll get into that, just yesterday, I just paid $70 for a album that I very much love. Finally came out. And be honest with you, the digital sounds a little bit better. It happens. So, but that's really not the frustration I've had with vinyl. The biggest frustration I've had with vinyl, and again, we'll definitely be getting into it. As you see, I got MJ up here. This is the OG. This is the OG. Love this album. Bought it, searched it, got it to where I could afford it, or I thought I could afford it. And what I mean by that is, we'll get into that later, that I think I can afford it. I ended up buying two OGs of Thriller. For about, one was 25, one was 30. So, and then first week in December, I did this. Yes, and this is not MoFi Gate. I know all about that. We'll get into that on that episode. This is not my MoFi Gate. This is not me complaining about that. This is me talking about how I'm buying my records from now on and what I'm willing to tolerate from sellers and publishers, quite frankly. But anyway, that's enough for now. I believe I'm 13 minutes in. The goal is I want to start putting these out under 15 minutes. Might get in that today. Just under 14 right now. Seriously want to make it to where I can do these and just throw them up, little to no editing, but also throw them up online on YouTube at least once a week and do at least one a week. Would love to be able to do them every day or every 3 days or something like that. It's probably not going to happen. Why am I doing this? It's real plain. It's real simple. I want to help others. I also want to get the stuff off my chest. I ride around in a big truck hauling gas and fuel all week. I'm home every night. I get to sit down in the listening position and listen to the albums almost every night. And I watch a lot of YouTube during the day. Listen to a lot of podcasts. And this stuff just rolls in my head, and I just want to get it off my chest. So this is going to be a get it off my chest kind of podcast or YouTube channel. So with that, I'm going to, I got Michael off the shelf. I think I'm going to spin up Michael on the Ultra Deck and enjoy some Michael. So look, like and subscribe. I'm asking. I'm not telling you. It seems like everybody else tells you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to ask you. Like and subscribe. I promise you, you'll enjoy what's coming. It's going to be some good stuff. Thank you.